Okay guys, I'm coming at you with a big old book haul again today. I don't know what happened. I thought I hadn't bought that many books, but my stack is fairly large once again. So I'm going to share them with you. But also I'm wearing my book stack t-shirt. I haven't kind of been sharing the shirts that I have in my shop for the last few months, mostly because I realized I don't like wearing t-shirts like this. So I'm in the middle of making these into some tanks because I think I would like that better. I prefer wearing a tank top either by itself or like with a cardigan or something. So I'm working on that and I will let you guys know when that's all up and available because I'm actually going to put them in a different shop and I'm making a bunch of different designs and I'm also going to make some like foster care adoption shirts as well as my plan. So stay tuned. I'm going to share that eventually. Yeah, so books. I'm going to tell you where I got all of these from because they're from a variety of different places. Some of them have stories to tell with them. And yeah, let's just get started. Also, I don't know what my hair is doing today. I maybe regret cutting the bangs. So I have them back and the hair is just doing its own thing. Anyway, first book is Deadly Curious. I totally just grabbed this one because I was buying other books from Book Outlet. You guys have been awesome and have used my referral link for Book Outlet, so I often get free books. And I really don't remember what this one is. I think it's like a YA, is it a mystery? Yeah, I have no idea what this is. Okay, I think maybe it's like a murder mystery set in 1834. I don't know if there's like a fantasy element as well, but that's what that one is. Then I finally went on thrift books for the first time. I like the idea of thrift books, but actually I prefer thrifting my own books because the joy is like finding books. But there's been some books that have been on my list for so long and I couldn't find them, so I grabbed some. The first one here is The Pawn by Stephen James. You guys know this is one of the books that I wanted to read this year. Yeah, it's Christian suspense slash mystery, I think. I'm really excited about it. So Thrift Books actually has pretty decent prices and shipping to me here in Canada wasn't even that bad. I thought it was going to be outrageous because shipping here usually is, but it wasn't. So I'm also going to leave my referral link down below for that. I think if you haven't bought from there before, there's some kind of deal or discount or something. I don't even remember, but I'll leave the link below for it. Okay, so this next book does have a bit of a story. So my friend texted me this week and is like, I borrowed a book from you a while ago and just found it. They're moving and she found it. So she came and she put it on my doorstep one morning and I looked at it and I was like, I don't remember ever buying this book. Or owning this book. So I'm putting it in this haul because apparently I bought it like years ago. I think she's probably had it for like 3 or 4 years and I had forgotten about it. So it's The Mansion of Secrets. It's a Kate Tracy mystery. Now, I feel like, well, this would have been like before my booktube days. This was like 3 or 4 years ago. It kind of has like Nancy Drew, what's the other detective? Trixie Belden kind of vibes. Like I'm not like, oh, that's not a book I would have picked up, but I'm also like, why did I pick this up? Yeah, so I'm curious about it. This is by Lamplight Publishing, which I don't know if that is like the same Lamplight Publishing that's out there now, but it's some kind of mystery book. Yeah, I have no idea. But apparently I bought this a few years ago. Okay, time for another little story. So a couple weeks ago I got an email and it said, what did it say? Something about like the most surprising birthday gift is the one that comes a month late. And Becca from Hicks Picks Books, she sent me an Amazon gift card. So I ordered a couple books. She sent me an Amazon is so weird, you guys. Like I have a beef with Amazon because she sent me an Amazon.com gift card because she's from the States. So I had to order from Amazon.com, which means I had to pay like shipping and stuff here. And I'm just like, why does Amazon not have a streamlined service where if I'm from Canada, ordering something from Amazon.com, why don't they just ship it out of Canada? Because they have these books in Canada as well. It seems like a flaw. They make so much money, they should at least be able to make their system a little better. Okay. Rant over. So I found The False Prince and The Runaway King. So this is the Ascendance series. I was going to say trilogy, but there's, I think book 5's coming out this year. I picked these two in paperback because I could get 2 books and shipping and yeah, use her gift card. So yes, I read book 1, I really enjoyed it. I think this was a 5-star book for me. And then I've been scared to finish this series, but everyone tells me I need to, so I'm going to. And yeah, now I have the first 2 books. Then from the library, I got a weeded, discarded book, and it's in terrible condition. I was kind of like, should I pick this book up or should I not? But I've looked for this in the thrift store forever. If I ever find one, I will replace it. But I got The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and this is a, like, I don't know, middle grade YA World War II historical fiction story that will, like, make you cry. And I put it off reading it for a long time. I read it a couple years ago now, and I still haven't, like, worked up my courage to watch the movie. But I'm excited to finally own this book because it's one of the few historical fiction books that I really love. Yeah, so it's in terrible shape, but it's a good story. Another Book Outlet purchase for me, which I want to say which ones are from Book Outlet when I remember, because I know I like seeing what other people get from there, because then I can quickly go online and see if they still have copies so I can buy it. This is Desperate. So this is by Sarah May and Sally Clarkson, and I like Sally Clarkson. I actually think I read this book a few years ago, but kind of forget. This was probably like 5 years ago that I read it. So it's something about hope for the mom who needs to breathe. I wish I would have read this a few months ago, but I'm sure there will be another season where I want to read this again. So this will go on my shelf and I'll have it when I need it. And I told you this book was coming. This is On the Cliffs of Foxglove Manor. I'm going to talk about this more in my wrap up for the month, because I got it and then like proceeded to read it immediately. I don't know what's with me in ebooks. Like I had the ebook, but I just struggled because it's an ebook. And then as soon as I got this copy, I read it right away. Jamie Jo Wright was wonderful enough to send this to me, and you guys, I really like her writing. I don't like that every book so far has had a very predictable romance portion, but I feel like she tackles subjects and her writing is good enough that I can get over a little bit of the cliche stuff. So in this one we have dual timeline once again, and in the present day there is a woman that goes to work at this, like, I guess it's an old folks home, this manor, and she brings her autistic brother with her, and I feel like the book does a good job showing like a bit of a peek into autism. And yeah, so there's kind of like, I don't know, things going on. I struggle with like figuring out how to describe her books because there's so much there. But I don't know what was the year on the other one. The 1885 portion of it also takes place in Foxglove Manor, and this manor kind of has very creepy vibes. There's a ghost, which is nice about Jamie Jo Wright's books is there's never actually a ghost, but you're like, when you're reading it, you're like, well, how can it not be like a ghost? Like, how come? Yeah, but I appreciate that. And I'm kind of stumbling all over this, but I really enjoyed this one of hers. Then I'll talk more about these two in my wrap up for the month, but I got the Case of the Cryptic Crinoline and the Case of the Gypsy Goodbye in the Enola Home series. I think I shared these in my TBR for July. I've now read them, so I won't talk about them too much right now. Will I say anything? No. So now I own books 1 and 2 and 5 and 6. So I still need 3 and 4 because I'm trying to get them in this edition. So I'm keeping an eye on Book Outlet for that. And then also the newest book, hopefully they can put it in this kind of cover as well. Okay, and now this next book has a story. How much do I say right now? So back at the beginning of May, I went and I bought Holly a blind date with a book, and I thought since I'm ordering one for her, I'll order one for myself as well because it was her birthday. And I had intended to make this into a reading vlog, so I filmed me opening this book, and I think I'll just insert some footage here of that. Hey guys, so I've seen this idea of a blind date with a book, you know, for years. But they've never done it at any of the bookstores that I go to. Probably because I mostly go to the thrift stores. But then someone mentioned I should buy one online and like from an Etsy store or something, and then do a video on it. And I thought that was so brilliant. So I got a blind date with a book. I don't remember the Etsy store offhand, so I'll pop it up here. The one I ordered from is a Canadian one. And our shipping in Canada is so crazy. So I bought one for myself and I bought one for Holly for her birthday. And the shipping was $17. And it was just coming from the next province over. This is why when people are like, oh, you have an extra of that book, will you send it to me? Especially if I'm sending it to the States, even if I'm sending it within Canada. The pricing is insane, and it's not, like, usually the cost of shipping is more than the book. So that's why I don't do it. Anyway, so I, first of all, this came in this really cute packaging. I probably should do a quick little video of the packaging before we open it. So there were a few different book packages you could get. There was like a romance genre, a fantasy, YA fantasy genre, something else I think, and then I got the mystery/thriller one. And what's kind of cool is you put in your link to your Goodreads account so they can see if you've read the book before. And then this particular person had the option, you could choose to buy a used paperback, and then a new paperback, or there was a hard copy, like a hardcover option. I don't remember if that was new or used. I don't care about used books. It was cheaper. I went with used. I just was curious to see what I would get in this package. And then the other thing too is you get to pick your drink of choice. So I picked hot chocolate because that's my thing. And there's also a bookmark, which I don't want to pull out because it might open the book. So there's some information here. It says mystery/thriller, shocking and gripping, psychological thriller. Okay. I haven't read a ton of thrillers that aren't like, it's more like Christian suspense is what I've been reading lately. I've read a few thrillers, and I've read some that I really enjoy. I have no idea if I'm going to like this, but we're going to open it. And if it seems like a book that I'm not like going to hate, then I'm going to try to do a reading vlog. If it is a book that I'm going to hate, I don't know what we're going to do. So let's take out my hot chocolate. The packaging is a little bit ripped, so I'm like trying not to look. Take out my bookmark. Oh, here. Curl Up Collective. So I'm assuming that is the Etsy shop that I got it from. Oh, it was only established last year. I kind of feel jealous. There's a 10% off coupon code here. I feel jealous because this seems like a fun business idea. I would love to do this. Some kind of like recommendation. But like I said, the shipping here in Canada doesn't make sense. But I have been thinking about doing a live video with giving recommendations, getting some other booktube friend on here, and you guys can say ahead of time, like, I want a book that's kind of like this book, and then we can like give recommendations in a live video. I'm thinking about doing that. Anyway, I'm just stalling because the suspense of opening this is really cute. I'll open it so that we can see it at the same time. I have no idea what this is going to be, so it's going to go this way. Oh, interesting. I know what book this is. This is The Silent Patient. So I had fully intended to make this a reading vlog, but I don't know, guys. I'm just like not in the mood right now to read this, and I didn't want that random footage of that sitting around, and I'm not sure a thriller would make for a good reading vlog. So I do plan on reading this someday when I'm in the mood for a thriller, but not right now. But I'm interested because I've heard really good things about this book. I'm just not in the mood right now. Okay, and then I don't remember where I got this book from. Possibly the thrift store. So this is Michael, how do you say his name? Crichton? I'm not sure. State of Fear. Okay, I know nothing. I think this is the Jurassic Park guy. And is it making sure I'm actually right here? Yes. I know Murphy really likes some of the books that she's read by him. And even though I know I have very different bookish tastes than Murphy, I still love her channel, and I'm still like constantly getting out books that she talks about or buying books that she talks about, thinking maybe we'll have like a bit of a crossover. Like there's almost no books that we have the same feelings towards, but I still love watching her, and maybe I'll read this one day. I have no idea what it's about. It was cheap. Then we went and we got the hardcover books for Words of Radiance, which is book 2 in the Stormlight Archive, and Oathbringer, which is book 3. So I am still reading Words of Radiance. If you saw my Instagram post last week, I haven't read any of it since June. Even still now, I have not. Hopefully I can finish this. I want to finish this in July at least. My plan was to read this in July originally, but now my plan is just to finish this one. I haven't been reading as much this month, so we'll see. But book 2 has been a lot better than book 1. I'm really enjoying the story. And the reason we wanted these in this is partly because the mass market are so hard to read, especially if you're like me and you don't like breaking spines. And also because my husband got Rhythm of War because he has loved the series, and when they first come out they only publish them in this size, so we may as well just have the full collection. This is his favorite series books of all time, I think, so I want to really love them, and I'm definitely going to read them even though I have to like push myself for it. Okay, next up, I just got this one from the library the other day. It's The Child Finder. I think one of my librarians recommended this book to me a few years ago. This was published in 2017. So it's about a woman who like finds missing children. I think she was kind of missing as a child or something. I'm not sure if this is going to have magic realism in it. I didn't look this up at all. But I don't know, it just seemed kind of interesting. The books in my library are fairly cheap. It doesn't say. I read the first like 2 pages when I was there and I thought it sounded interesting. I didn't like hate the writing style or anything, so we'll give this one a try. Then I got the second book in the Pages & Co series. This is the Lost Fairy Tales. Book 1 was called The Book Wanderers, and I read that one a couple years ago and enjoyed it. It's a middle grade story about a girl whose family, her grandparents run a bookstore and they live in the bookstore, and that sounds wonderful, and it's got some fairy tale fantasy vibes. And so eventually I'll read book 2. Then also that one was from Book Outlet, and this one as well. This is the book 4 in the Mysterious Benedict Society. I own, I think, all the other ones, but I hadn't got this one yet because every time I saw it on Book Outlet, it was the hardcover, and we own all the other ones in paperback. So I needed this one to be in paperback, and eventually I finally found it. So this is The Riddle of Ages. I don't even remember if I read book 3. We want to reread these sometime in the next while, hopefully this year, because it was a fun series. I don't normally share like all the books I get for my kids, because whatever, but I got this one from Book Outlet. It was the Geronimo Stilton Cave Mice series, Shoe Cave Flies. I got this one time. I think I don't know what the deal was. I always try to buy things when they're like on sale, and I had a couple dollars left in my gift certificate for my rewards, so I just squeezed this one in there for a couple dollars. Then another part of my thrift books purchase, I'm really excited about this book. This is the Beekeepers Apprentice. I really wanted it in this cover. I don't think they actually publish these anymore. So this is a spin-off of Sherlock. So we follow Mary Russell, who is a woman who's trying to impress Sherlock. I read this book probably about 5 years ago and really liked it. And then I tried to read another book in the series, and then I realized that was like book 11 and I had missed so many things. So I would like to reread this book and then start this series sometime in the next while. I'm hoping that it's all as good as this first one. Okay, this one I found at the thrift store, and right after I got it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna read it. I don't know. So this is A Lineage of Grace by Francine Rivers. So many of you have told me so many good things about this. So it's stories of 5 women who God chose: Tamar, Rahab, Ruth, Bathsheba, and Mary. And interestingly, on my video about Dear Christian Publishers, there was a bit of a discussion on biblical fiction and people's thoughts on it, and it really like made me think about some things. Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of biblical fiction, which is why I haven't read this before. I'm not like against people like just, I don't know, trying to make the Bible come alive. I feel like some of the biblical fiction that I've read that has been really good has really made me like, it set the scene for what it was like back then, and I've really enjoyed that. And I've heard good things about this one from Francine Rivers as well as her Mark of the Lion series, so I'm definitely going to give it a try. Yeah, we'll say that. Okay, and this one was another thrift books purchase. You guys, I have looked for this in the thrift store so many times. When I did a vlog with Holly when we went thrift shopping, and I wanted this book. This was the only thing I was going to look for. I mean, I found other things. I finally got the Babysitters Club book 1. Christy's great idea. This was my, like, I don't know, grades 4 through 6. This is all I read, the entire series. And I thought it might be fun to reread it. And my daughter has never read, she's read the graphic novels, but she's never read the actual book. So maybe we'll read it together. This was a Freeverse novel you guys told me a lot about, and I found it on Book Outlet. I think it's actually been on there for a while. It just took me a while to buy it. Inside Out and Back Again. So this is middle grade Freeverse. I think it's about a girl, something about the Vietnam War, and they possibly come to America or something. Yeah, so hopefully this one's a good one. Okay, this one's another one for my son. I was trying to remember this author and series a while ago because I think this would be right up his alley. You guys, this is Bill Myers' Wally McDougall series, and I got him My Life as a Bigfoot Breath Mint. This was just a cart filler. Again, it was like a couple bucks. Like, this is so up my son's alley. This is his kind of book. So hopefully he enjoys this. Okay, a couple more books. What made me buy this book? I'm not sure. I got Heist Society by Ali Carter. I really like her writing. It's easy. It's like kind of a little bit fluff. She wrote the Winterborn series, which I've enjoyed both of those. Those are middle grade. And then she wrote I'd Tell You I'd Love You, but Then I'd Have to Kill You, which I think is like YA. It's a spy school for girls. And it was fun. And then this one I think is, I don't know, some kind of girl, not spy, but thief of sorts. I don't know. I found her writing style to be very easy to read and just a lot of fun. This is probably like a good summer read, I would think. 2 more books left, and the first one is actually it's the Awakening Wonder Experience. So I'm assuming, I haven't even looked at this. Oh yeah, okay, so it's like you read the chapters. Oh, but there's a little bit more information. I don't even know what this is. I thought this would go with every chapter of the book, but there's actually sections in here from like her husband and looks like possibly her son, and then there's like different things to fill in. I don't know. I think this would be good. I really enjoyed the Awakening Wonder book, so I think the next time I read it, I'll go through it with this. Oh, I feel like this has been long. The last book is one that I read in June or maybe May, and that is Mind Games. You guys, I have been so good at starting and finishing series this year. Like almost every series that I've started, I'm caught up to like what's currently been published. I still need to catch up on my series from last year. I've been terrible at that, but I don't know if I have any series that are open that I haven't finished this year. Other than like Stormlight, but like I'm working on it. So yeah, I read this one. This is Christian suspense, and she deals with I don't know, I say like maybe mental health. So it's stereotypical in some ways, but like I feel like she takes a bit of a different spin on some things than normal, and I appreciated that. And I just was like so drawn to the photography and illustration of the covers. I like this series. Okay, so that was a lot of books again. I also thought about sharing like a library haul here. I know originally I said this was going to be changing up of my TBR cart would be my next video. Then I realized a bunch of these books I want to put on my TBR cart, so I kind of have to do this in order. Now, do I share my TBR cart or do I share a library haul next? I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. We will see. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know kind of like what books jumped out at you here and what you have been purchasing lately.